Welcome to the Lockdown Defense Sports Network. I'm your host, Coach Defense, bringing to you live and direct a new show called The Rivalry Room. And we're covering the NFC East today. We got all our NFL insiders from the NFC East in the building today to cover their teams. We're going to talk free agency moves. We're going to talk draft strategy and what is their dream scenario to get their team to the promised land in 2026. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce y'all to the squad that's going to be repping today. First and foremost, my guy from the city that never sleeps, where they wear gold-colored Timbs and dare you to say something about it, where Giants are nothing at all. Mister, I've been gone from the area for 15 years, but I'm still repping my New York accents.
You see it.
From Queens to the Bronx, it is our Lockdown Defense Sports Network Giants insider, my guy, Father God.
What's happening? What's happening? Good to see you, brother.
Indeed.
Like the applause.
Indeed. No problem, man. I got you covered. Next up, from the mean streets of Philadelphia, the Broad Street bully himself,
Yes,
Mr. Jaxson, coaching, teaching, rapping, and if you play with him, he might just pull up on you. Philly sports all day. Eagles, 76ers, Flyers. Your Lockdown Defense Sports Network Eagles insider, Rellyville is in the building.
What's good?
Indeed. Next up, my guy, you see him. The man that moves in silence and reps all Cowboys violence. From South America to NYC, now repping the DMV. Some call him Hussein, but he has no WMDs. The Lockdown Defense Sports insider, Cowboys insider himself, repping the Straight Cash University, the rated R Cowboy superstar, Commish R. Hussein.
What's up, family?
And last but certainly not least, my guy, holding down the Commanders in the DMV, Coach Mike Dub. From the DMV, Mr. Fall out of bed and drop big views on YouTube. They call him Dub because all he does is win. Coaching, sports talk, and he might steal your girl if you're not watching. President of the We Back Commanders fan club, Coach Mike Dub is in the building. Yes, indeed. So we are in the rivalry room. We're going to talk free agency period. The insider's going to go over their free agency periods, what they like and didn't like about that particular cycle. We're going to talk draft strategy, what they feel like their team should do. And we can get into their dream scenarios, what they need to do between now and the start of training camp to get ready for the season and put themselves in the best contention possible to win a division and take it even further to maybe the Super Bowl. So, gentlemen, let's go around the room. Let's talk about it. Let's get a quick talking point, man. Coach Mike Dub, how you doing, good brother? I don't want to leave y'all out, man. I want to hear from y'all as well. Coach Mike Dub, how you feeling, good brother? What's going on out there?
Good, man. Good. Definitely glad to be here. Happy to see everybody. Glad we can get this rivalry started early. A few weeks away from the draft, so it's time to cash in.
Indeed. All right, Commish, good sir. How you feeling out there? What's going on in Cowboys world? I'm sorry. Cowboys world. I'm sorry.
Man.
I'm sorry.
What's going on? What's going on, man?
I got Commanders on the brain. I'm talking to Dub so much.
Disrespect.
Hey, man.
Hey, man, I'm good. I'm blessed, man. I can't complain. I'm just here to, spread the word about America's team, and it's going to be an interesting season, man. It's going to be interesting. So,
absolutely. Looking forward to hearing what your thoughts are on what's going on in the Jerry world for sure. My guy, Father God, good sir. What's happening, good brother? It's been a minute, man. You've been a minute since you've been on the pod. How you feeling out there?
I'm hanging, brother. Getting ready for the draft. We have tired of picking this high. So
indeed.
Hopefully, right? This is the last time we're picking in the top 15.
Right. Okay.
We'll
new coach, new day, new regime. So it's all brand new. Good coaching setting going on in NYC. Hopefully
we'll see.
In the corner, right? Okay.
We'll see.
All right. My guy, Rellyville, what's good, sir? How you doing out there? What's going on in Philly world?
Hey, man. Getting ready for the draft. Dealing with being the most hated or one of the most hated. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's new territory. When we didn't win, nobody gave a damn about us. So now we have a little bit of wins, and now it's But it's all good. Come with the territory. You feel me?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good place to be. It's a good place to be in. You don't want to be at the bottom of the barrel. You want to be at the top. You're looking down at folks. I understand. All right, cool. So let's talk about free agency. Let's start there. A lot of movement going on in free agency in that space from everybody's teams practically. A lot of moves were made. It was either quality moves or a lot of moves or a lot of all of that in between. Especially the Commanders, they had a laundry list of free agency moves that they made. So let's start with Coach Mike Dub. Let's talk about your free agency period. Give your opinion on how you felt about it, what you like, what you didn't like. What do you think they could have did better? Did they hit the nail right on the head as far as what they need to address? Tell me about what's going on with your free agency moves.
Yeah, I love the free agency moves. I think we were intentional. We had a lot of money to spend, and we had a lot to address. First thing, we were old. I just call it out, man. Bobby Wagner looked like a step behind in coverage. A few other guys looked like we could have moved forward with. We didn't overspend, in my opinion. We could have broke the bank and bringing Debo back, but we held our ground. And I love the guys that we brought in. We brought in guys that would be pretty much plug any gaps that we had, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. We were busy spending money on that side. So we brought in the safety, brought in the corner, brought in the tight end on the offensive side, brought in some edge rushers. So literally we did everything that we needed we addressed everything we needed to address before we got to the draft. So now it's not as much pressure on us. I'm not going to lie, before free agency, I was worried because we only have, I think, like maybe 5 or 6 picks, and we had a lot of gaps to fill. So now we handled a lot of that in free agency. Got some guys that are not just depth pieces, but guys that can actually make a difference right away. So I like the moves that we make. I like how we spent our money, and we still got something to spend, and we can really hit a home run with the draft. So I'm good. I love free agency so far.
Absolutely. Cool. So the Commanders definitely looking pretty good for agency from that perspective. So we'll see how those things shake out in regards to their moves. They definitely filled a lot of gaps in their roster. You got the money to spend it. With limited draft capital, you got to do what you got to do. I definitely understand that. All right, Commish. The rival of the Commanders, direct rival for many years, most of our lifetime. So there you go.
Not really a rivalry, man. It's
not
big brother, little brother, man. We dominate them, we sweep them, we beat them on Christmas Day, New Year's, Halloween, you name it. We just am I lying, Mike? Am I lying?
Look, hey man, time is coming. No worries. We got the same things to show for it. So
he knows it's true. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
You got it.
Bulletin board material, if nothing else. I mean, we can rehash this conversation when the season starts.
Of course. Nah, but I'll give my team a C+ in free agency, man. I definitely think we brought in some key players that can kind of help us. But I think we could have done better. I think we brought in Gary, Thompson, and then we brought in Durant. All of which are, I think it was the big name kind of signing. I don't know if he's going to do much. I think he's on the back end of his career. Thompson, I think we could have went and got Minka Fitzpatrick. And I think we reached on Durant as well as far as corner goes. So I'm a little skeptical about free agency and then what we're doing with our defensive scheme. But yeah, at this point, it is what it is, and I'm just looking forward to the draft and seeing what we can get done.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely picking in twice in the first round should bolster that roster from a defensive perspective as well. Because I think, especially if you get George to sign that tender, that franchise tag, you'll be pretty set on offense. It's just a matter of addressing that defense and getting that on track. Staffing all that good jazz. So.
Yeah, I got a nice opinion on our Mr. George Pickens, so I'll hold that for the follow-up question. So
not a problem. We're looking forward to hearing it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Good stuff. All right, Five. Talk about these Giants, man. John Harbaugh left Baltimore, went up north to the Big Apple. Brought in some veteran coaches, Matt Nagy, Greg Roman and company. Signed a few Ravens. From some Ravens to come with them. So talk about the regime change. Tell us about free agency. I mean, y'all got a lot of changes going on. I think y'all had the most turnover in the conference or the division, I should say. in 2025, 2026. So talk to us about that and how you feel about free agency.
It's been wild, man. I mean, if you look at, I wanted Tomlin or Harbaugh, right? Because you want consistency. You're tired of the turnover. You're tired of this coach, hot coordinator, right? You're tired of the, same thing that Baltimore wants is kind of what we want, or in reverse. They want to, like that specialist type coach, right? I think you're successful with that. I think when everything is management, right? So you got to allow your coaches to coach, call plays. So I'm excited about that aspect of it, right? And I'm excited about the 18 years and plus in Baltimore, right? But it's a different game, right? You're excited about history in a game that allows 3 years, right? They don't even allow the quarterback position 5 years anymore.
At best.
You know what I mean? You see, and that started with Rosen. I remember a few years ago, Rosen came out.
Oh, yeah.
He was drafted, and the very next year, they bring in somebody else. So, I sound a little burnt because I guess we all are, right? So we'll see, right? I see as far as, he's saying all the right things at the podium, right? If you look on this podcast now, Eagles, Giants, Commanders, and the Cowboys, right? What's that record against the Giants? That's what we have to talk about, right? Yeah. So then you talk about free agency. Now, I don't think we had a terrible season. I think the record was terrible. I think we were competitive in a lot of games. I think just they're young, one of the youngest teams in the league, if not the youngest. And then you had some hot spots. I think the free agency, it came in. It's a lot of number twos, right? Say that from all the way around defense, right? You bringing back, Jason Pinnock at safety. I know he's not a household name like a Tremaine Edmonds, but he's solid, right? They're solid role players that can fill in, that know how to win, team first guys. Tremaine Edmonds. I worry about the sideline mobility, right? I did watch the film in Chicago. We played Chicago, right? 9 years in at that position, you start to have the tread on that tire, right? So I do like Illuminor coming back to shore up the line. I think the Giants' offensive line was actually a strength last year, especially getting Andrew Thomas back. Prior to Andrew Thomas being hurt all those years, Daniel Jones is in Indy. Right. That's how important Andrew Thomas was against the NFC East pass rushers. Right. So with him coming back, GVR, Greg Van Roten at the right guard position, old guy, but he's solid. Right. I'd like them to bring him back. But now, all you guys will laugh because you'll say this guy's kind of high on Evan Neal. I'm high on everybody that nobody was high on. You know why? Because it's like just take the whole team and give them a new coaching staff. That means they have a new job. They have a new, prove it system. So instead of sending the player away to develop on another team and then all of a sudden he's great, right? It's the reverse. You have the coaching staff coming to New York. So I'm excited for Evan Neal because I think you don't draft a guy that high and just day balls coaching and just it wasn't a mesh. It just wasn't. That the kid has talent. He moved from left tackle to right tackle in the NFL. So I'm just saying there's a lot of potential on the Giants, and then you fill it in with a lot of number twos. The draft could tell us a lot. But I'm excited about free agency. It's all right? You brought back some key pieces. You brought in two receivers that are the same kind of guys, Darnell Mooney and Calvin Austin. So, a lot of number twos, right? Maybe threes in certain spots. I think if you go into the draft and you don't pull out a receiver, I think you're struggling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
But I don't think the receiver should be the first one.
No, I think you can get a solid guy, especially a solid X receiver in the second round, especially picking high in the second round. So I definitely agree with that. And having two slot guys to go along with neighbors and that potential second guy on the outside will fill out your receiving core, period. So I definitely like that.
Sorry to cut you off. I think they need to look into the stadium, right? I talk about the turf. There's teams in New York, like they say that all the time. Saquon said it, right? A lot of teams say that, like we have injuries every year that are just outrageous. You can't compete. right? Last year you can't compete, right? You know what I mean? These young guys, and I'm not as high as Scatterbull as everyone else. You know, it's he averaged like 3.6 yards a carry, right? You're not really. I don't know. We'll see. So
okay. Well, I mean, yeah. Do you was the Scatterbull hurt on MetLife's field, or was it a different field?
He got hurt. He got hurt in MetLife. Yeah,
okay. I know the neighbors got hurt against us when we played y'all.
Yeah,
the Chargers. So yeah, I do remember that one, but I wasn't sure. I remember seeing it, but I didn't know it was sunny that day. But I wasn't sure it was MetLife or y'all were away. But yeah,
you got to go back to. I mean, you're going back to Cruz days. Not saying Cruz is in Philly, but you go back to those people complaining and listen to the complaints, right, about that field, that turf.
Yeah,
that has something to do with a lot of these injuries. Right.
Yeah, we were having a large discussion on our pod a few I guess a couple of months ago about everybody going to grass, just going to grass. Period. We feel like that's a better solution for the league overall. Even with the type of grass that the Bills are using in their new stadium, you know, it's weather. You know, I guess you can say weather repellent. So it's going to hold up and withstand the snow and rain. So I think, you know, that having a more softer surface in that space would be better suited for the NFL period, and will keep injuries down, especially those catastrophic injuries, those knee, ankle, you know, those type of just those ligament or soft tissue injuries that people always seem to have nagging throughout the whole entirety of the season. I mean, hell, Mike Evans can't keep a hamstring together, you know, for its entirety of the season just based upon the fact that he's playing on those surfaces, right? So yeah, I think that life has an issue. I think SoFi has that little bit of issue with people constantly, even the Commander Stadium, people complain about just injuries in that space, you know, for long periods of time where, you know, unless they change the surface, it's just going to keep having the same problem, and nobody wants to play there. Yep, I got that. Okay, all right, good stuff. All right, Rel. So tell me about the Eagles, man. Division champs, you know, last year. Y'all 2 years running, first time in what 8-9 years that did somebody won the division back to back. So you know, a lot of change, a lot of turnover. You know, your man, your head coach is on the hot seat yet again. New coordinator, you know, AJ Brown conversation. So what's going on in Philly?
You know, I just think free agency for us was a lot about who we were going to lose. You know what I'm saying? And how we were going to replace that. You know, I like getting Tariq Woolen as a corner on the other side of Quinyon, because like that was like one of our weak links, you know what I'm saying? We had Adoree Jackson over there for a minute. Keely Ringo, they all, you know, they just got attacked. So I think, you know, with Quinyon, Cooper DeJean, and Reed Woolen, that's a good three, you know what I'm saying? You know, we lost Nakobe Dean, which I kind of knew it was going to happen. I guess, you know, that's what they drafted Jahad Campbell for. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for him to step up. Retained Dallas Goedert, which was good. Picked up Hollywood Brown, which if he's our three, that's an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can stretch the field. And then, you know, we actually, because how we did some maneuvering, we actually have more cap space now than we started out with, just from, you know, restructuring and cutting a couple people. So, you know, we still got some holes to fill, and I know history tells me like how we don't leave nothing unturned. So we're like incomplete right now, you know what I'm saying? Because there's still a couple of holes that need to be filled on our team, and I know he's going to address them in some way, shape, or form. We just need to see, you know what I mean? I know what I would like him to do draft-wise and stuff like that, but, you know, it's still incomplete, you know, for us. You know, I feel like we did a good job of not, because, you know, like when you have players that, you know, play good or they outplay, like a Milton Williams that kind of outplayed what was expected of him, and then he got that big money in New England, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that happens. So I knew we were going to lose a couple people. It was just about how we were going to replenish and manage the cap. You know, the AJ thing, I don't know. You know, we'll see what happens. I really don't know what's going on with that. Like, to be honest, like, we'll see what happens. But I know, like, Howie likes to overcompensate. So I know he's not going to we're not going to go in there with too many glaring holes and going into the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, one thing Howie's definitely been good at, and we've been praising him on, in our spaces on the network, is that he's always ahead of the curve when it comes down to the idea of what needs to happen and what needs to be addressed and what is going to be a make or break area that the team has to address. If that requires them trading players, trading down in the draft, trading up in the draft, whatever he needs to do, he's always active. He's one of the more active GMs in free agency and the draft every single year. I mean, we have to give him an A+, and an ability to him to be a businessman and keep the roster where it needs to be. If we had to pinpoint an area of weakness, it's definitely not that. From a personnel perspective. So he's definitely one of the guys that you definitely want to hold on and pay him what he needs to be paid, regardless, because you lose him, you're going to step back in that particular aspect of it, because those guys don't grow on trees, for sure. Yeah. So I definitely like how he's doing, man. And I think a lot of GMs in this league should take a page out of his book and how to keep your roster fresh, talented, and young, where you're not overspending in any position. Because I always reference the Jalen Hurts contract and how they literally kept his cap number low for the first three to 4 years of the deal, and it doesn't even get expensive to the last two. And then that's we renegotiate, rework it anyway. So I mean, that's just businessman savvy right there. That you can't just sneeze that. So I definitely like what Howard's doing out there in Philly. So I definitely am blessed to have him in your front office. So it's just about what the coach is going to do with whatever he builds. So I think that's the underlying thing. So let's move forward. So when we talk about free agents, let's move forward to the draft. The draft is literally less than 2 weeks away when this comes out. This comes out on the 6:00 episode on Friday. So everybody. I'm pretty sure everybody has a first round pick here. Yeah, I think in fact everybody's picking high. In certain aspects, except for the Eagles, either via trade or just rough season. So give me your I guess you can say, give me your expectations and what you feel like the team should do in day 1 and day 2 of the draft to help build your roster is going in the right direction. We'll go back in reverse order. We'll start with Rel.
So looking at our team, traditionally we don't draft safeties in the first round, and that's an area of weakness for us right now, to me, with Reed Blankenship moving on. So two guys I have my eyes on are the safety from Oregon, which probably will have to move up for. I don't think he would drop to where we're at, or the safety from Toledo, where Quinyon went. I'm seeing mocks say a tackle. I've seen a couple say wide receiver. I don't know if we stay at where we at. We're picking 23rd. If we would draft a receiver, I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? And I want us to draft. If I had my pick, it would be the safety from Oregon. But in our history, we don't really do that. You know what I'm saying? But again, we don't really draft a Jahad Campbell in the first round either. So maybe we do something different. But we start out in the trenches. They always build from the inside out. So one of them tackles might be where they go. It's not the sexy pick, but it's necessary. But because again, Lane Johnson's not going to play forever. So, we got to start thinking about life after Lane Johnson. The kid Fred Johnson plays good in spot duty when he's out, but you got to start thinking long-term, tackle when he's gone. Mailata's at the left, Lane's at the right. Mailata's good, young. We might have to start thinking about, life after Lane Johnson. So I understand going tackle. But I really want a playmaking safety. I want this secondary to be scary. You know what I mean? You got Quinyon and DeJean, they thorough, you know what I'm saying? Reek Willing, to be your number 2, I think that's the upgrade from what we had. The guy we drafted from Texas last year, but we got a hole at safety. So that's where I want us to go. I'm not so sure that's the direction that we go though. So we'll, yeah.
Okay. Well, let me throw some extra real quick. So let's say hypothetically, because I've seen a lot of traction with potentially AJ moving to New England. So let's say hypothetically you trade AJ and you get the 31st pick in this draft. So you got 2 firsts. So would you take those and combo those to move up to get a real time big playmaker that you want in the Oregon safety, or maybe Caleb Downs if you can move up that far? Would you do that, or would you just replace AJ with that second first round and draft the receiver?
Ah, man. So drafting receivers is like,
it's a dice roll.
It's not easy, man. Like I don't want to say a crapshoot. It's almost like a crapshoot, unless they're like some were just like surefire that you just knew were gonna, do their thing. And even some of them didn't turn out the way we thought. You know what I'm saying? Remember Justin Blackman? Remember how good he was in college?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
It happens. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Neighbors, we kind of knew he was gonna be a dog, but there's been plenty of Malik Neighbors that didn't turn out like Malik Neighbors turned out. You know what I'm saying? So if they would have traded AJ to New England for the first round pick, man, I'm at a loss because, like, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. When we traded for AJ, right? We gave the Titans the 18th pick, and they drafted Treylon Burks.
Who's now a Commander.
He's now a Commander. He actually kind of played all right with the Commanders, but on Tennessee he was horrible. You know what I'm saying? It was like there was a guy they draft to replace AJ, and it's like you're not replacing AJ Brown unless you know what I'm saying. For me, if I would be looking at another team for a trade. Like I would be looking at a younger, like maybe Jacksonville, Brian Thomas, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because you're not replacing AJ. What'd you say? Yeah, I mean, listen, somebody that's proven, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if we can, can
What about
Smitty
Brandon Ayuk? What about Brandon Ayuk from San Fran? They're gonna get rid of him. Probably get it for a 7th-round pick today.
Probably. Now, talent-wise, yeah. What's up with him though? Like, what's up with his mental? Like,
I just think he fell out with management. I think him and Kyle and the front office really had an impasse about his money, so he decided he didn't want to come back.
It's Smitty and it's Hollywood 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You're ready.
Yeah. If that's the case, then we need to get we definitely will draft someone. You know what I'm saying? And we definitely will draft someone. Again, like,
man, he could become a cancer for that.
And then, like, do you draft, if that happens, do you draft the tight end from Oregon who's like a weapon? You know what I'm saying? Kenyon Sadiq.
Right.
Like, it's just depending on what if that was happening. I'm sure they have a plan if we were to trade him, because the talks have been, intensifying, and it's been all season. So if it was to happen, I'm sure they've discussed the potential things that they want to do. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, that's why people are in that position that they're in and get paid the money to do it. Because that question you asked me was very, very interesting, man. Like, I would really, because, like, man, like, who's the number 1 receiver in this ranked receiver in this draft this year?
Carnell
Tate, right.
And I'll give you another nugget. It's not a plethora of outside receivers in this draft. It's a lot of slot guys, smaller guys.
Right. Because, I don't know. Might be what Five said. It'd be Smitty, Hollywood. They probably pick up somebody else. But I would try to get as many weapons in there as I can, you know what I'm saying, to supplement if that was to happen. So we'll see.
All right, good stuff. All right, speaking of 5, let's roll over to him next and talk draft. So what do you think the Giants going to do early on in day 1, day 2 to fill out this roster? I'm hearing rumors about O-line, but we've seen Evan Neal work out, and they talking about maybe moving him to right guard, based upon his performance in training camp, see how he fits, paying him that 1-year deal, kind of a prove-it situation. So they might be straight on O-line collectively. So you maybe need another receiver to go opposite Neighbors, linebacker. I think I was pretty good at safety. Yeah, definitely good up front. There's Dexter Lawrence rumors. I want to hear your take on that. And whether or not he's going to be a Giant, in 2026. So let me know how you feel about the draft and all those talking points.
Well, first, Dex ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
That man got a tattoo on his leg of the Giants.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, that don't mean nothing. I'm joking, but
right.
I'm saying as far as that's contract stuff, right?
Yeah.
Giants need to pay that man. But as far as what was the question you asked me? You asked me something else before the draft.
Well, actually, how you felt about what they're going to do about the draft on day 1, day 2? That was the primary question.
As far as Evan Neal, he moved the guard last year.
Okay.
So, under Dayball, they moved him to guard. So I think that this will be year 2 at right guard. So we'll see what he can do. I mean, what Philly did with Mekhi Becton a couple years ago has been the blueprint for those big guys, right? Because you always thought about linemen with long arms and that you want them on the outside. Nowadays, the game's changing a little bit where they're bringing them inside where you can use that power. You don't have to be so, especially if you're 6'7", 6'6".
Right.
You got guys that can bend and pick up that quarter off the ground. You know what I mean? They're getting underneath you, and it's making you look foolish.
Oh man.
So I think when you're looking at the draft for the Giants, I think like I said, they picked up a lot of number 2s. So the number 2s filled in with number 1s that were already there. I do think outside of Neighbors, and Neighbors is a question mark. So you really can't say the week 5, right? Okay. So you gotta supplement that until week 5. So a lot of OBJ rumors. I'm bought in on that. I'm not bought in for him to come catch 8 balls, but I'm bought in for him to come in there and lead. You know what I mean? Because he got that mystique. Like them young knuckleheads they're gonna follow him. You know what I mean? And like it's gonna work. Is it worth the roster spot though? You know what I mean? So outside of that, you got Jalen Hyatt, another one. Him and Evan Neal group them in the same boat.
Yeah.
Something about Dayball and that system didn't unlock them to, right? You don't win the receiver of the year award in college, score 5 touchdowns on Alabama, and you catch 5 balls since you've been in the NFL.
That's crazy.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just throw it at him. Let the balls beat him up until he catch it. You know what I mean? Just throw it at him. He runs a 4.2. Throw the ball. You know what I mean?
It's getting kind of explicit, man. It's getting kind of crazy.
Oh my God! Like 5. What's going on, bro?
So here comes the new coaching staff, right? Bring everybody in. Look, everybody's on 1-year deal. That's good. Try them out because maybe y'all seen something in them too. Y'all are all looking at these players to draft. So everybody, hey, I'm with it because there's no way these two shouldn't be balling. As far as the draft goes, I think the Giants need to. I'm sold on Sonny Styles. I'm sold on Sonny Styles.
That is hilarious because we dropped the mock draft on Thursday. I believe it was Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday, Doug? Was it Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah.
We dropped the mock draft, and we literally mocked Sonny Styles to y'all.
Listen. That kid, 6'4", 2 whatever, right? I'm a little enamored with the traits, right? The underwear Olympics, but
listen, the tape is even better.
The tape is even better, and then the way he improved his tackling,
Yes.
in that year to be 99% tackle effectiveness, whatever
Absolutely.
stat that these dudes make up.
Right.
I'm with it. And then you with a generation, like, I don't even want to use that word. I just want to say he's a solid prospect to play and learn behind another big middle linebacker
in Tremaine Edmonds.
Tremaine Edmonds. So I think the Giants, if we get another one, Deonte Banks, right? Another one that I don't think the Giants unlock. I think Wink unlocked him the first year because Wink wanted him. He had a great rookie year. Couple picks, you know what I mean? Came in, played hard. He's a man press corner. Right? In the system that they were running, it just didn't fit.
Right.
But I think you got to give that. He's another one, the 4.3 speed, 42-inch vertical, right? Sticky. With that traits at cornerback is really needed, especially when you got the guys that we got to go up against for the Cowgirls and the Eagles, right? Shot fired. But no.
Careful, Five. Careful.
Listen, hey,
we own y'all too. Let's be honest.
Listen, the only one that can truly you own in the seasons, right? The only one that can really talk is Philly a little bit.
We can talk once we own y'all. I mean, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
You're right. I had a hand in designing the trophy we send to y'all every year, right? Because the Giants is terrible. I'm telling you, we are terrible. But I think I'm not even a big fan of Jaxson Dart.
Really?
I think I think he can play. I think maybe I'm just that old guy on the porch. You know what I mean? That just don't want to change for the NFL. I think I don't know. I think it bleeds into college. You know what I mean? I think the way these players are handled in college, they come into the NFL but it's in line. Like I was just told you, quarterbacks get 3 years now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You don't even play every NFL team. So anyway, back to the draft. Sonny Styles, lock him up for middle linebacker to learn, bring him in, right? Because everybody gets hurt in New York. So I think what they're doing is they're filling those spots. I mean, obviously you don't draft somebody at number 5 for them to sit because we did bring back Micah McFadden, who got hurt last year. Solid off-ball backer.
Hey, Five, would you take Dak and Pickens for Dart and Neighbors?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. I think Dak is severely underrated, and I think
I'll take that in a heartbeat. You call Jerry. You got to call Jerry up.
Give me consistency, right? Because I'm falling in love with players that have done it, right? Pickens would be the question mark. Dak, absolutely. I take Dak for both of those players because it's the consistency. You can give me 3,500 yards every year or 4,000 yards every year, 30 touchdowns, 10, 11 interceptions. I can build around that, right? If you can be that consistent, right? Right now, Dart, you can't. I'm not sold that you'll play you and your other Caucasian buddy, and nothing about the race, but I'm just saying, you and y'all want to play like it's the program, right? You're not going to run against, Jalen Carter like that. Like, how long you think you're going to keep doing that?
Javonte Williams did. So
give me a quarterback that's going to lead the defense, drop back, throw the ball. Give me check down Charlie. Give me Dak Prescott, who can sling it 40 yards on the rope. So I'm in love with that. Look at the Commanders. You know what I mean? They always are hot one and done because their quarterback is the same. It's the same stories of RG3. And it's you got to learn to play quarterback early, right? And if you don't, you'll have a hot season. Giants, I'm sure they'll be hot next year, right? We'll see how many games. Talk to me if Dart can play 15 games. Scatterable, I'm giving him 7.
Wow.
7. That's why you need. I wouldn't be mad if they went Love. I don't want Love because running backs you can go piece them together. And I hate to say that, no disrespect. I don't think everybody's Saquon Barkley, right? And some of these players, but you can get a committee. You know what I mean? And you can be effective. And I think Tyrone Tracy is a solid backer. So, Giants, I just trade back, right? I'll be with that too. Pick up more picks, But I mean, you need some. You better figure out that defensive tackle spot.
That too, yeah. That too.
Even with Dex coming back,
right. You definitely need
anytime you get married, anytime you get It's over. It's over.
Okay. Fair.
Anytime you get married, it's over.
Things change, right? Things
Change.
change.
He came in camp last year like 20 pounds heavier. You're like, Dex, they ain't want to say nothing to him, but the camera guys was like, hey, you've been eating good, huh, Dex? Yeah,
Eating good. Eating good and honeymooning.
He had one of them round neck shirts that look like a V-neck. Like, you ain't even got no neck, Dex. I'm telling you. So
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
okay.
man, just pick up something good in the draft. I think they go get that kid from Ohio State. If they don't get him, get Carnell Tate. So if he can fall to one of y'all, I tell you, he's a stud. Or that kid from USC. He's not that high to be drafted, but
Makai Lemon. Yeah.
Lemon, slot receiver.
Yeah. I like it.
It's flooded in here. You can get a receiver in the corner in a second.
I agree. I definitely agree. The likes of maybe Denzel Boston, if he fell to the second round, be a solid outside X receiver. So there's only, I think, Carnell Tate, Boston, and Tyson are only legit, high end outside receivers that you're going to see that's going to be productive, in my opinion, early in the league. A lot of guys are 6 foot and under, really fast, really speedy, really shifty, more slot guys than outside boundary guys. So I definitely agree if y'all go after one of those guys.
The game's going to, fellas. I'm telling you, I don't know what area y'all grew up in, but
all those about the same age.
It's
both
over.
The same age. Dub was the youngest.
It's over because so when you see those little shifty guys, I knew it was over when I seen all them players in flag football. It's over.
Yeah. If I was the old guy screaming, "Get off my lawn!" I understand.
I'm just saying, it's not. It's just.
It's truth. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Like no Madden game. It's like.
Take it back. Take it back one time. I like it. Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, my bad, bro. You
good.
One shot for the Iceman.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Right. Yeah. So let me ask you a quick hot question like I asked Rel. So if Jeremiah Love was there at 5, do you pass?
Is the linebacker there from Ohio State?
Pick a letter, him or Love. Which one do you pick?
Yeah, no, you go grab that linebacker.
Really? So you take Sonny Styles over Jeremiah Love?
You grab that linebacker.
Oof.
That linebacker.
Damn. Okay. All right. Well, y'all heard it. So he'd rather have Sonny Styles than Jeremiah Love. If Jeremiah fell. Okay. All right.
Backs, I mean, I don't know. You grab Sonny Styles. Jeremiah Love is he's nice. Yeah. But again, he's still, I ain't seen 2-6 for the Philly Eagles. He's not that.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's that, but he's definitely
not even Jahmyr Gibbs.
I
don't think he's Jahmyr Gibbs either.
Well,
he'll be but he should be around 16 down.
Really? You think Jeremiah Love's falling that far? I doubt that.
No, I don't think he's falling that far, but I think the talent, if you had to get like with the other players that are in front of him, there's some play. I mean, and then the position, right? There's so many people. The running back is flooded. It's flooded in the NFL. You can find a run. Look at the most successful tailbacks in the NFL outside of like Barkley and Gibbs and Bijan, right? But look at every other running back. They're in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, right? It's pretty consistent. So if you what are you saying if you draft him at 5? I'm handing the ball off, right? I'm handing the ball off constantly. I mean, you want to. I don't know. He's a weapon at receiver. You got to get that running back, or you got to get that linebacker.
I mean, I'm not mad at going defense. I'm a former linebacker, so I'm not gonna argue with you in that space. I wouldn't be mad if you guys took him, but it's one of those things where you got a young quarterback coming on the 2nd year of his career, and they always say a rookie quarterback, his best friend is a good running game. So
you got a good running game, right? Yes. Giants have a solid running game. Their running game, I think they were finished like 11. Okay, right? If you finished 11 with Scat being hurt, Tracy and Singletary, you know what I mean? Like you can bring in another guy, right? Okay. But I think Tyrone Tracy is severely slept on.
I like it. Okay. All right, y'all heard it first then. All right, Commish, you up next, man. Let's talk Cowboys. Let's talk draft. What's looking like with those 2 lovely 1st round picks I got. Via trade, the Micah trade. So talk about what you feel like the Cowboys will do with those 2 1st round picks.
Yeah, so I think our draft strategy needs to be acquiring more picks, right? So I don't think we have a two. Matter of fact, we don't have a two. We have two ones and then a three.
Okay.
Um, and so I think in the first round, so ideally, right, this is you know, I'd say we would go get Downs, Mansoor, or Styles. I know they're talking about Styles going or at 5, but that would be I would try to get one of those three
Mhm.
with our 12th pick. So that's the first one. And then hot take, I'd say trade Pickens and pick up an additional 2 and 3 this year,
Mhm.
right? So it puts us you get your second round pick. Um and then with our 20th pick, right? I would say we would trade back. And then we would pick up depending on what we got at 12, right? So if we got a corner, we
Mhm.
would try to get the best linebacker at 20. Um, and so that would be like my day one strategy because we need more picks because we gotta especially with us switching to a 3-4.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of the new defensive coordinator.
Mm.
That's a hot take.
Okay.
Um, Especially switching to a 3-4. I think you need big edge rushers, which we do not have, right? Our edge rushers right now are pretty um, small in stature, pin. And
Awesome.
so we'd do that. And then I'd say with the second round pick, we need to go get a wide receiver to replace Pickens if we do trade him, right? And I would say Omar Cooper or I think it's Concepcion is the other kid.
Mhm.
I would say that would be our second round pick is just grabbing one of those wide receivers. And then in the third round, we will go back to defense, preferably a linebacker, because one of the things that I hope they do. I know, Mike, you said something about Bobby Wagner earlier, but we could use him as a middle, like an inside linebacker. He still was like top 5 in tackles last year, and he could coach up like a young linebacker, right? So if we draft 2 rookie linebackers, I think Bobby Wagner would be a great like role model in getting them ready as far as the NFL goes. So yeah, third round I would go linebacker or edge. I would really want to get Jacob Rodriguez. I like that kid.
Yeah.
He
Mhm.
flashes on the screen every time I watch the tape.
Mhm.
Um, so that would be my game plan, man. That would be my ideal like kind of first day. Some of the pickups that we make because we need defense. I think we're pretty solid on offense. Again, I would get rid of Pickens, pick up a second round and a third, and then pick up like a young wide receiver on with that second pick. So that's where I'm at, man. I really want to get Caleb Downs, but I don't see him getting past like 10, maybe. Um, so it's Downs, Mansoor, or Styles, which I think all three of them will be gone, but that's my like ideal, draft that the Cowboys would get to at least put us back in good standing on the defensive side because I think we're set on offense.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
hypothetically, because I do believe that those 3 guys are going to be hot button items in the top 10. So, do you believe in the idea of maybe drafting Jerome McCoy, the kid from Tennessee? He's coming off an ACL tear, but prior
So
to the ACL tear,
yeah.
they were talking about him and Delane is 1 and 2, top corners in college football. So, him being a year removed from that ACL, do you think he would be a fit for the Cowboys?
So the only reason I wouldn't, so we have another, we drafted a corner last year that came off similar injury,
Mhm.
except we drafted in the third round and, we tried to force him back and he wasn't the best. So I'm not a big fan of drafting corners that are coming off ACLs because they have to be shifty, right? And
Mhm.
so I wouldn't want to get him, but he is, when you watch the tape, he's a solid corner. My problem would be the injury.
Right.
I wouldn't want to spend that high of a pick on someone that's coming off an injury. So if those 3 are gone, I can see us trading back to get more picks. I would
Okay.
I would do that. I would do that too. So yeah.
So you wouldn't jump at the Oregon safety if he was at 12?
No.
Oh,
No, because we just paid someone to play safety, right? And so the Oregon safety. Now I would get Downs. Downs is my guy because he's a generational talent. I don't think the Oregon safety is like that, man. I've seen the games. I've seen the tape. I'm just not a fan personally. Will we take him? It's possible. But yeah, I'm not a fan.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. That stuff. So in order to trade George, he has to sign that tag before you can trade him.
So I don't think he's going to sign the tag, right? I think we're going to like force him to sign the tag, and it's going to be contentious. I don't think he's going to want to do it, but I think he's going to get talked into it. And with the that friction between him and Jerry, I think Jerry's going to pull the plug and trade him at that point.
Oh.
So sorry, I said he wouldn't trade. I think he's going to get forced to trade to sign the tag.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you do, I think we talked about this previously. If we do, guarantee that you trade him based upon him signing it, that might be motivation to sign it because he's going to go be traded somewhere else and get a new deal. That's really what it's about. He wants that new deal. He doesn't want to play on the tag. So,
right. I don't think he's worth the money that he's asking for. Just being honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Dub. So let's talk draft for the Commanders, man. What are we doing early in the top 10 in regards to y'all pick and maybe your day 2 thoughts?
Strategy wise, I think we got to get guys that can help us now, because we don't have a 2nd round pick or a 4th round pick. So those early picks are going to be critical. 1st round, I like Downs. Like Kamish said, I think he's a generational talent. I think he's a plug and play guy right now, ready to play in the league level. He's got the intellect. I think he's versatile. We can move in a few different places. So not only do I think he's going to be one of the best available at our pick, but I also think that it's a position of need. If I look across the board right now, I think we have guys that can help us win right now at the starting with the exception of one safety spot. So we signed Nick Cross to plug up one. That other safety, I think Downs would be a perfect fit right there. So ideally, that will be my first guy to go with. In the 3rd round, I think we'll probably have to address maybe another corner. So at the 3rd round, I think we should just go best available. With the exception of O-line, I think we're pretty solid at O-line there. Unless we can find ourselves, a nice center of the future. But other than that, I think 3rd round and the rest of the rounds we can pretty much go best available. I think we'll be able to find some decent guys at receiver, decent guys at corner, and probably even maybe an edge rusher that could help us win as far as depth goes, just in case we got injuries to our front line guys and things like that. Later rounds, I think we could just focus on special teams and just being a well-rounded team. But like I said, we're fortunate because we had a good free agency that I don't think we're dependent upon the draft, that we have to, nail it in order to be better than we were last year. I think we got the luxury of kind of just plugging up whatever gaps that we have. So, like I said, ideally I want Downs. I think I've been high on him for a while since he was a freshman in college. So, seeing what he did at Ohio State at the highest level, I think he can have a similar impact in the league. That's what I'm hoping we do with our number 1 pick. If he's gone, then at that point, I wouldn't mind looking at some other guys and looking at that next best available thing. Or if he's gone, I wouldn't mind trading down and possibly getting, a 2nd round pick so that we can kind of get a little bit more flexibility with who we need. But overall, I think we're in a luxurious spot where we can just plug some gaps, get some depth. And as long as we nail that 1st rounder, then at that point we're playing with house money.
Okay. Well, I find it interesting because, outside of our network, a lot of analysts on the I guess you can say the popular networks, your Fox and ESPN, and some highly popular independent social media and sports writers have all either looked at edge for y'all or wide receiver. The dream scenario too. Again, we talked about it in the mock draft segment we did in the video about how they thought PFF thought running back was the biggest need, assuming that Love would be there at 7. So how do you feel about that? Do you think that will play into the Commanders' thought process at all? If a David Bailey or Arvell Reese or a Ruben Bain is there at 7, do they kind of, discuss it if nothing else? But do they take them? Just one of those conversations because, to be honest with you, we talked about Adafe Owe, we talked about Caleb Chason after the free agency period signings, on our hit squad show. And my only concern about those two guys is that they're excellent pass rushers, but they are, I guess you can say, have some concerns in their run defense. So if you do lean on them and depend on them to be every down guys, you could have issues with your edge run defense. So, and especially with Ruben Bain and these other guys being really solid, especially Bain. Bain is a complete, DN, regardless of the arm length and, things they kind of knock him for. He's a dominant guy. He's a complete guy. So do you think that Bain was there at 7? Do you think they would consider it?
Yeah, I think you have to consider all possibilities this high in the draft. Just because you never know what can happen, and you have to be exhaustive in your research and looking at the guys. I know there was a lot of talk with injury issues with Downs and some of the other people, so it can't hurt to kind of take in all the possibilities and to keep your eyes open. Of course, we're probably going to even get some calls for people to trade up too. So to answer your question, yes, I think you entertain everything. You entertain the defensive ends, the run stoppers, all that stuff like that. But my thought process is every year there's going to be some top edges. Every year there's going to be some dogs at certain positions. Safety isn't one of them. This is one of the few years that you get a generational talent at safety. And we talked about this before. I'm kicking ourselves over passing on Nick last year and looking at the defense that he made, the difference that he made with the Seahawks, the difference that Kyle Hamilton makes with the Ravens, all across the league. If you can get a guy at safety, he could be versatile in the run game and help out. So if we get Downs, we might not be able to have the guys up front to stuff the run like we want, but we may even have the flexibility to put Downs in the box on certain situations to kind of help with that and different things. So in my opinion, of course, you do entertain it. You're exhaustive in all your research and all those things like that, but I still would stick with our game plan of plugging a hole at safety and especially a guy that could be versatile on the second level and the third level.
I like it. Okay. All right, good stuff, gentlemen. So, all right, so we got through the logistics in regards to the draft and what you think the team, most likely will do early on. So, let's talk dream scenarios. So, give me your dream scenario on what you would like between the draft happening in 2 weeks and free agency period leading up to training camp. Like, give me, your top 1 to 3 picks that you would love to have in a draft that would fit best, in your opinion, with your team. And is there any free agents out there still, or even trade potential, that guys that you would love to have that would just really put this team in the best position possible to, to compete in 2026? So we'll start with Doug.
So dream scenario, I already mentioned if we're able to get Downs, and if we're able to walk away with another playmaker at some point in time during this offseason, whether it be, I don't think we'll be able to get really one in the draft because our next pick isn't until the 3rd round. But if we're somehow, some way able to swing a big trade for a guy like Ayuk, I think that would be the icing on the cake for me. So I think we are missing one more playmaker. Tight end was a position that I was really worried about, so I'm glad that we signed Chig. I do think we probably need maybe one more guy just in case he gets hurt or whatever. But yeah, dream scenario will be if we can have Downs, nab probably one more corner. Of course, you already know I'm big on trading Stoops from Arizona. Yeah. So I think that might be a guy that we can probably, get a chance at nabbing in the second day. That's a guy that's versatile as well, can play corner and safety. So I think he'll help us out in a lot of different areas. If we can walk away with those 2 guys and then somehow get, like I said, an extra playmaker, I love Pickens. Obviously, I don't think a deal is going to be done between us and Dallas. I don't see Jerry trading him in the division at all. So, but I would love a shot at him. But if not him, I'm cool with Ayuk.
Okay. All right, good stuff. So we're looking at addressing the secondary and bolstering the secondary and maybe a receiver in free agency. I like it. Okay. All right, good stuff. All right, Camille, what's your dream scenario for the draft and free agency leading up to training camp in the summertime?
Yeah, so like I said before, and I would want to get rid of Pickens and get some more draft capital. Ideally, like I said, Downs is the guy that I would say, like Mike said, plug and play. The tape speaks for itself. So I would say getting rid of Pickens and getting that draft capital. Getting Downs. If I can't get Downs, it's Mansour, the corner, because right now our corners are trash, right? Like Bland is always hurt, and when he's playing, he just can't cover, right? Like I think Micah really got Diggs and Bland that exposure because of the pass rush. But as far as coverage and all that stuff, Bland is terrible. So yeah, I do think Mansour or Downs can step in and help our secondary. Leading up to the draft, Max is still out there, man. I wouldn't mind if Jerry through the house, went back to the Raiders and said, "Look, we're gonna give you a 1 this year, that 20th, and a 1 next year to get Max Crosby." Because I think that would really our defense would be something scary at that point if we could get Max Crosby. But that's my ideal kind of scenario at this point, man.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. You say you offer the same type of price that the Ravens paid, because I think that's them rescinding that kind of made the value go down, in my opinion. So you may even get it cheaper than that, but it's just a question of whether or not Jerry even wants to entertain it, because he kind of got passed over when the Ravens traded for him within the same conference. Ironically, he could have went to the NFC. That's what most coaches do. When GMs do, they shift them off to the different conference. So I got to see him. So
that's my dream scenario. But to your point, Jerry's ego might not even let him consider it. So
okay, yeah, but I like it though. So we'll see how it shakes out. But it's good stuff. All right, Five. So what's your dream scenario for the draft and free agency thereafter, leading up to the training camp session in July? You muted.
My bad.
There you go. Yeah.
So my dream scenario versus what should be good for the Giants.
Well, hoping to go hand in hand. Let's hoping to go hand in hand.
I don't know. Nah. I mean, the best situation for the Giants is to trade out of 5, right? Trade out of 5, get somewhere in the teens.
Okay.
Pray that you draft Carnell Tate, that he falls that to like 11, 12, right? Pick up a next year's pick, a next year's higher pick, and maybe get another second. Take that second, trade that second to Oakland for Big Boy, the defensive tackle that was traded from Miami. I can't think of his name. Dexter Lawrence's best friend. Re-sign Dexter Lawrence, right? So that you're working with Carnell Tate. Hopefully, if for any reason you're able to bring Dexter Lawrence, you're able to get that D tackle, draft Carnell Tate, find a way to pick up a cornerback, because there's tons of them out in this draft. Because a couple of them are going to fall based on the injury to the one guy you were talking about earlier. Can't think of his name. He's going to fall. So if you find a way to grab one of these guys, but I think the Giants have a solid roster. I think they just need to get healthy, and I don't think I think you can trade back and pick up other picks, but dream scenario for me would be to bring in the linebacker at 5, and then find a way to grab Omar Cooper, somebody like that high in the second.
Oh, okay. I really think that he would be there in the second, to be honest with you, it's where y'all picking, so that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that'll be Lemon may fall because of the size, right? I don't think. No, I see the fake. No, Mike, no.
He's not falling out of the top 20. I think the Rams are going to take him with Puka's issues.
He looks like a Ram, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So hopefully, worst case, bring in Branch in the 3rd.
Okay. Zachariah Branch.
Yeah. Get some speed up.
I like it. Okay.
So yeah, all right. Keep it light.
Okay.
Just beat the
All right,
Eagles and the Redskins and the Commanders or whatever they are.
Oh, okay.
Beat all
Good
y'all. Look.
Right.
We up, y'all. We up.
Okay.
Look, Eagles is done. They about to implode from the inside, just like America.
You hear that? Oh, damn. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right, Rel. You know, they talking cash trash right now. So,
no, I mean, they. I don't know. They talking Jalen Hurts stuff. I don't know. He's
5 wins. 5 wins, man. That's it. 5 wins.
wow. Okay.
For who?
Okay.
For who?
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on, man. Let's not.
Yeah, look at him. The truth hurts, man. The truth hurts.
You have no room to talk about nobody. You have not.
I don't know. I wouldn't say
You
5.
have
I give him at least 8.
You have no room. You have no room. 5 wins. Come on, man. I wouldn't even see, that's my problem. Like, I wouldn't even say nothing like that. Like, I don't like y'all teams, but I'm not going to say nothing crazy. 5. Come on, man. It's
disrespectful.
You know we up next. You already know the Giants up next. You can say what you want, unless Dexter Lawrence leaves the building.
I'm realistic. I'm realistic on everybody's team. Like, I feel like I like some of the things a couple of the teams did, but 5 wins. That's just a Cowboy fan talking. Like, they just talk out their ass all the time. Like, what are you talking about?
Mad. You mad?
I'm not mad. It's comical. It's comical. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny. Like,
we know what it is. It's preseason hubris. Everybody has it a little bit. Everybody has a little bit. Cowboys have a lot of it.
I actually think it'll work though. Real quick, I think it'll work. Y'all get rid of AJ, pick up some picks, find something to get for AJ that doesn't require those little receivers with Jalen Hurts in that type of offense. I think it'll work a little better, and they're not as vocal. Sometimes it's like you can take a person that has this period, move them to the side, but then get guys that are just consistently average, right? I mean, Smitty is a beast, but I'm saying Hollywood Brown. Like, I don't think Smitty's a bona fide one, though. You know what I mean? And I don't think Hollywood Brown is a one, but I think they both are like 2As. I think maybe Hollywood might be 2B. But I think with Dallas Goedert, I don't think you even need to go get the guy from Oregon because you just brought back Goedert. You know what I mean? So how many Jalen don't throw the
only
ball
1
like
year
that?
though.
Huh?
Only 1 year though. Yeah, with Dallas Goedert, it's only 1 year.
Like something you said, like picks. Like, we got like 11 in this draft. So like, we only have one first pick, but we got like a lot of picks. So like, I really want every year.
And you got 9 picks right now. 9 now.
9. Yeah. So every year it seems like somebody falls like to us. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that happens again. Jalen Carter, we weren't supposed to get Jalen Carter, and he fell. Rayon Mitchell fell, and then Cooper DeJean fell all the way to the second. So, like, I'm just hoping, like, we can maneuver, use some of these picks, and get creative. We got things we need to take care of. We need some young juice to the offensive line. We need a safety. I would like a receiver, maybe round 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want. Get Howie to get creative and fill some of these spots. Once we figure out what's going on with AJ, whatever they decide, they're going to do.
It'll matter.
So yeah, whatever if they, we'll see what happens with that. That's. That's
you don't be here. You don't gotta be. But trust in Howie. I tell you that. I hate the Eagles, right? But all I'm gonna say is Howie's an ace.
He is.
Yeah,
gotta respect.
I don't know how he do it.
Yeah, but you gotta respect it though. He's one of the best in the league. He might be the best. Him and the guy with the Rams. Yeah, the GM for the Rams and the GM Seattle.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of with Mr. Cowboy over here. Like, I wouldn't mind Max Crosby either. Like, adding an edge rusher to that D line. Like I'm not against that for us either. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what what the cost is. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's lower than with the Ravens. Offered and rescinded. You know what I'm saying? Like I would. Somebody like that on the edge with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, like that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not against that either. So I'm just, the holes we need to fill are safety, a young lineman, and wide receiver. So I'm not against. I want Howard to get creative because we got a lot of picks, 2 second-round picks. Like figure this. You can move around. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my dream scenario is for us to, attack those holes we have on the roster, and then, if it's a splash to be made, then make it. You know what I'm saying? We like 30 $40 million under the cap right now. Like if it's something to be done, then do it. Like I don't want to go in to the season with a lot of question marks as far as like, certain positions, because those always kill us. Like we had a question mark at cornerback number 2, and then teams were just going crazy on Adoree, you know what I'm saying? So like it came back to bite us. So I know when that stuff happens, Howie tends to overcompensate for it. Like he tends to attack that really, you know what I mean? When we need a corner, we got 2. You know what I'm saying? So like we'll see what happens, but I trust that he'll figure something out for us, and we'll be able to fill those holes that we got. You know, I mean, we got a young team. I wouldn't mind bringing a veteran in for some leadership as well. Like we're one of the youngest teams as far as overall age in the league, so I wouldn't mind that as well.
Okay,
I got a question.
Go ahead.
No, well,
So,
my fault.
hey, Rel, so is your team better this year, or like right now versus last year? Is it better or worse, roster wise?
Roster wise,
Great question.
I say worse. I say we're incomplete right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like it's an incomplete. We're an incomplete unit right now. I think we're better at offensive coordinator, because that's a whole nother subject. But
Yeah.
right now we are not as good on paper. But again, it's incomplete. Like it's not done yet. You know what I'm saying? Like so, we're not as good as we were last year on paper right now. But
So
it's
that
incomplete.
so not as good as last year, and you're playing a first place schedule this year. When I say 5 wins, you go, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, because I mean, we playing a first place schedule. We played one last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you saying wins get cut in half. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, now if we don't, if we go into the season and we don't take care of some of the holes, then I could see it. But I don't see that happening. Like, it's hard for me to say that. Like, I can't say that about no team right now when we still got the draft to come. And you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no,
Like, I remember the Super Bowl year, we signed Chauncey Gardner-Johnson like way after the draft. Like, and that kind of was a big thing that changed our defense the year we won the first year we went to when we lost to KC. So, I mean, I don't we incomplete. So like, but I trust that Howie's gonna, address the holes that we got, and then we'll see. But like the first place schedule, I mean that when you finish first place, that's what you get. So like we'll be all right.
Did we already see Jalen ceiling as far as talent? Like, I mean, obviously the height of his career is Super Bowl, right? I'm talking about him individually as a quarterback. Did we see the best version of him already? Or do you think is he at that top and he's starting to decline? You know what I mean?
No.
I don't think it's decline. I don't think it's the right word.
Peaked. Is the word maybe peaked? Is he peaked?
Yeah, I think he hit a ceiling, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to be any better than what you see today.
Yeah, that's peaked. Yeah, has he peaked? Yeah.
So the Jalen Hurts thing kind of confuses me, like with people like, because let's just look at his career in totality. I never seen somebody that like accomplished so much that get like talked so bad about like all the time. Like it's kind of crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, I know like we are like not fans of each other's teams, but like, you know, like Eagles fans, I like to talk about Dak, but I think Dak is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not unrealistic, but like they attack Jalen Hurts like for all that he accomplished, they attack him like he trash, and they be like, well, look at the team.
It's the height, right? If you're putting up 157 yards a game, 2 touchdowns, 1 in the ground, 1 in the air, and you're doing that for 17 weeks, it's not terrible, right? Because you're winning. But my question is more around sustainability. Do you think 2 touchdowns, do you think the way he plays his games, like his inaccuracies over years, even in the Super Bowl runs, right? The passes that sometimes float, and I know you look at the TV, you're an Eagles fan, I know you done broke a TV or two, right? You know what I mean? Like the passes.
I ain't broke too many of these. I ain't broke too many of these past years, to be honest with you. Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, is done. All the boob tube TVs, they out of here.
When you talk about
good.
When you talk about an Eagles fan, you gotta understand, like some of this stuff that like that people be like, I would break a TV over. Like, I done grew up an Eagles fan my whole life. You know, like I done dealt with heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I dealt with
a lot of rough times in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My first first real heartbreak was I was a little kid and they played in the fall with Randall against the Bears. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I remember getting hyped for the first game of the season, and Randall get hurt in the first game for the season.
That year broke his leg?
Yeah, we out there with Bubby Brister and them niggas. Man, come on. You know what I'm saying? We lost 4 NFC championship games. Like, you can't break me with this stuff that's going on now. Like, if I ain't going down.
Do you think he's just? Do you think he's Brad Johnson elevated?
Oh wow!
No. I'm saying. Like, no disrespect, but like you can win a quarter. You can win the Super Bowl with Brad Johnson. You can win. Do you think that Jalen Hurts is not going to put the team on his back and win and will his team to victory? Do you agree? Do you think he will, or you like Dak Prescott is going to put your team? He's going to. Bro, you can look at the eye test.
Let me interject. Hold on. Let me interject real quick as a neutral voice, right? And I'm just sitting here talking.
So I'm just saying, you're right.
Dak dominated the Chargers too. Let me just say that. But go ahead.
That's not the conversation we're having right now, sir. But you know, which is also inaccurate. But that's no another conversation. Yet again, we looking at a division, right? First and foremost, that it's all black quarterbacks. If you think about it. It's all black quarterbacks in this division. It might be the only division in the league that has all black quarterbacks, right? I'm sorry,
what's going on?
Last year, I went back to Russell Wilson. Now it's
that narrative.
My man do some dances and he get the black card. Right, come on,
right. I forgot Russell Wilson is not there anymore. My fault. Jaxson Dart. Outside of Jaxson Dart, there's 3 black quarterbacks in this division, right? And I believe that. Again, you know, the Brad Johnson conversation is definitely disrespectful to Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, because Jalen Hurts, for all intents and purposes, you know, outside of a questionable holding call, could have 2 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs at this particular point in time. You know, Brad Johnson didn't come close to winning Super Bowl MVP when he won the Super Bowl. He was supported and carried to that Super Bowl. He wasn't the determining factor. I would say Jalen Hurts was definitely the determining factor that kept them in the game the first Super Bowl, and he won it for them in the second Super Bowl. He outdueled Patrick Mahomes in 2 straight Super Bowls.
But it's the same thing as the Cam Newton to Warren Sapp argument, right? You're taking it as disrespect. I'm taking it as Jalen Hurts is the manager. He's not a game changer. Right, so that's where it's not a disrespectful thing to say that I'm going to throw for 167 yards. I'm going to have 1 on the ground and 1 in the air, and my team's going to beat your team 27 to 17. Like, that's not a disrespectful thing to say that you're not changing the game. And I think when I said, do I think he hit his ceiling? Because this is the type of game we're going to see. We're not going to see Jalen Hurts turn around and throw for 350 consistently, 4 touchdowns. He's going to have games, right, where he's never going to lead the league in passing, is my point.
Right. So that's cool. But here's my thing.
Real quick, because I don't want it to think like I'm taking it like Jalen is trash. Nowhere near that, right? I think he's the way he plays like he's built, right? And I think that's a strength of them, but it's going to limit your offense, right? That's why I'm telling you why Hollywood and Smitty together will work with that, because that offense and that limitation from that quarterback that I see, like you take Dak and put him in that offense, Smitty's going for 1,400 a game a year, and then Hollywood's going to look like the Hollywood they drafted him to be in Baltimore. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right, let me address the Dak thing for a second, because like a lot of people like to do that. Like if this quarterback was there, they would do this. But like when that quarterback had the chance to do these things, they don't do them. So like
Right.
it's easy to be better than Jalen Hurts until it's time to be better than Jalen Hurts. So I want you to look at his record against the top quarterbacks in the league. Just look at his record. And then you say, well, he's never put us on his back. Look at the games against Buffalo when we were down. Look at the Rams game last year. Now, we won it on a block, but we was getting smoked. He came out in the second half and threw 3 touchdown passes. He was airing that shit out to get, like, he can do these things. Like, it just kind of baffles me, and maybe an outside person can explain why he gets criticized so much. Like, I don't get it.
Because
like
traditional
wins, that's cool, but a lot of these dudes that like we like to see, they don't win. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you think he's better than Lamar Jackson?
Talent? Why? No.
I mean, just if you were picking and you were the coach of the Eagles, who you drafting first? Or who would you take, Lamar, or if you had Jalen and Lamar sitting there?
Not knowing what. So, like, when
you're picking right now, not knowing them, just looking at their talent, their player, their quarterback, you know all their attributes, their abilities. Who you taking?
Right.
Who's a better
Lamar?
player? Why?
Lamar.
Why?
I think
the trophy winner versus a guy that transferred out of Alabama. So I mean, just looking at that particular aspect of it, a first round pick versus second round pick. So yeah, I see the argument there. I mean, it really just again, Lamar is different in a different animal from an athletic standpoint. That's not even a fair comparison.
That's the point with the NFL. The NFL is just that, right? The NFL is a system league. The quarterbacks that fit into systems do well, right?
Yeah.
The quarterbacks
that's
that don't fit into systems don't do well.
Systems changed for Jalen Hurts for years, though.
Yeah, because they had Carson Wentz before.
Well,
right?
no. The coordinator keeps changing. They changed. He's changed coordinators, I believe, every year but one.
Every year that's another thing I even get. Every year he's been in the league.
Offense is creative.
No, listen, 05, listen. Every year he's had a different coordinator. When it goes good, that coordinator gets a head coaching job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shane Steichen, it went good. Kellen Moore, you know what I'm saying? And then when they try to bring up a young guy from within, and Ben Johnson and Patullo, and then we don't have the season that, people expect of us, and then they're gone. Like, he's had a different one every year. Like, so for me, like, some of the criticism Is he perfect? No. Are there quarterbacks better than him? Yes. But like this piling on. Now, not saying that you doing it, but it happens a lot in the media. This piling on of Jalen Hurts. I just don't get it. Like he doesn't show up small in big games like other quarterbacks that we like. He
Like
isn't
Lamar
always hurt. Yeah, Lamar doesn't show up.
Yeah.
What is Josh Allen's record against the Chiefs? Every time they play the Chiefs in the playoffs, they lose. Okay.
That's Buffalo.
Joe Burrow, how often is he healthy? Like there's things now. I'm not dissing him, but I'm just saying, like, damn, like Hurts don't be getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? He not in rehab like Puka. That story was barely talked about, but Jalen Hurts is being talked about and bashed, and I don't get it. All he does is win. Where he came from when he got benched, second round pick, like he should be somebody that we applaud. Like even if you don't really fuck with the team, oh my fault for cussing. Even if you don't really like the team,
you straight now. Like so we passed the window. You good? Yeah.
Even if you don't like the team, like let's be realistic, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you could say if Dak was on the team, did this, but to all the great things Dak do, he don't. His playoff record's 25.
My point would be, yeah, they would put up crazy numbers, but they wouldn't win, right? They wouldn't win the big game. So Jalen would. That's my point with this whole situation. I think we've seen the best of Jalen Hurts, and honestly, it's good enough, right? But I don't think you need to. You're not going to see nothing. So looking at,
I got a good.
Real quick, and I want to move on because I don't want to leave y'all out. I want to say this, and I think we kind of dancing around it. And I think the issue is not on this network and not within this particular conversation of this divisional, roundtable, but the national media has a race issue when it comes to black quarterbacks. Still, I'm just going to say it. You know, the scrutiny that Jalen Hurts get. If Josh Allen had the superlatives that Jalen Hurts has right now, we'd be talking about he's the best quarterback in the league, bar none. Especially with him having the MVP award, which I still don't think he earned because I think that should have won to Lamar Jackson that year. He had a better season. But again, when the crowd was spilled milk. But yet again, I think that the media subconsciously and psychologically still has an issue from back in the day about how black quarterbacks being viewed. So
Shador Sanders, Jaxson Dart. I wanted Shador. Shador was a better quarterback.
Hello again, and then he's been blackballed for a whole different reason because they want to punish his father. So again, there's a lot of politics around this conversation that we're just not talking about. We're talking about X's and O's. We're talking about play on the field, but the scrutiny that we're seeing and we're air quote hearing from the national media is based upon the psychological trauma or the psychological conditioning people have for black quarterbacks. Let's just be honest. Because again, this man has a highly winnable record. I think he has like a 70% winning percentage as a starting quarterback. He's been in 2 Super Bowls. He's been in MVP conversation, Pro Bowls. He's won a Super Bowl. He had a Super Bowl MVP in which he actually earned. It wasn't, a default win, kind of a conversation. There was clear cut. He was the MVP of that game. And I would argue that if he won that Super Bowl with the Chiefs the first time, he would have been MVP of that game. So yet again, it's not about his play when he has a good offensive coordinator. It is about the fact that people view him, it was criticized him unfairly because he's a black quarterback versus him being a white quarterback. If he was Jaxson Dart and he had the superlatives that he has right now, it wouldn't be having a conversation. So that's just where it lands for me.
All right. Hey, Coach. So one really quick. So Raul, where would you rank the NFC East quarterbacks right now as it stands?
That's a great question. That is a great question.
I would go Hurts, Dak, Jaden, Dart.
That's exactly what I would say. That is exactly
Mike, what would you say?
Best to worst, I would say Dak, Jaden, Hurts, Dart.
All right, five. What would you say, brother?
I don't want to be the difficult one, but the criteria, like just the quarterback or the best player on that team. Like
just quarterback. Just quarterback. We just saw a quarterback. Just quarterback.
Dak Hurts, Jaden Daniels, and Jaxson Dart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would
So
go Jaden, Dak, Hurts, and Jaxson Dart.
Wow.
I hate to say it, but
What gives you that to say that about Jaden Daniels over Dak? What gives you what strength?
I think he's more versatile than Dak. Dak to me, I yell at the screen whenever Dak doesn't want to take off and run. It's almost like since he's been injured, he's playing very like cautious and doing stuff like that. Whereas again, and Jaden Daniels is younger and all that stuff, but he doesn't hesitate. The only problem I have with Jaden is that he's frail. Like he needs to, you know what I mean? He needs to put on some weight, bulk up. But I do think he has the best upside in our division.
Okay.
As a Cowboy fan, I could say that.
So for me, with Jaden, like I think he could be the best, but I'm not going to name him over people that have done stuff and that he hasn't done yet. Like we're going off of what we think he can do. Like that first year was crazy.
Phenomenal.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Last year, what happened to him last year is what I was fearful about him is him getting hurt. And availability is something that's important when you're ranking quarterbacks. Now, and I just didn't. I felt like, and I feel like this with Dart a little bit too. You can't be so reckless with your play in the NFL because you got linebackers running 4-3. They come to knock your head off, and you like it was cute when Dart was doing it. And he was healthy, and then when he got hurt, it's like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
At this point, yeah.
Yeah, and so you hurt right, and then you got the head coach breaking rules, trying to get him back in the game when he might be hurt. It just was a crazy scene, you know what I'm saying? And like with Jaden, I think you see all the talent, the intangibles. Like I think he could be that number one, but I can't give him number one off of could be yet. You know what I'm saying? I need to see it. I need to see sustained. I need to see it sustained. As far as that could easily be the best one, like by far. But his playoffs is just that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a hurdle he got to get over. And you know, the big games he don't always show up. He show up against us. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, he definitely does that.
But it's hard to put
us. But a lot of big games he don't show up.
That's
and the 49ers, a couple of the 49ers game was his fault. The 19-12 game,
yes,
Cowboys defense was smacking, and he threw horrible interceptions. They should have won that game.
Yeah,
they should have won that game. The Green Bay game, they were down 30-0 before you could look up. He throwing pick sixes, and he was horrible that game. So like, and then he'll get stats late.
But hold on. But Dan Quinn was trash too. Our defense didn't. Green Bay game.
He was trash. No. But it's like my thing with Dak is like he's the best in this division to me of processing and throwing the football. You know what I'm saying?
Cut the show. He said it. Eagles fan said it. Dak is the best. Cut the show.
He's the best at processing throwing the football. But I'm not sure he ain't the best quarterback because again, his playoffs and big games he don't show up to me. You know what I'm saying? And he's known for having a lot of empty stats. They get down 31-0, and then he start throwing and end up with 350 yards, but they lost to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like that's stuff that he does that would frustrate me if I was a Cowboy fan. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I ranked it like how I ranked it.
Well, I give you a quick argument in regards to Jalen Hurts versus Dak Prescott. I feel like Dak Prescott has a little bit of what Sam Darnold and Jared Goff have when it comes down to their intangibles and their in-game management. You know, you could get a really elite game like Sam Darnold gave you against the Rams in the NFC title game, or you can get a 4 interception game like he did earlier in the season. Like Dak has that up and down, you know, roller coaster like play. You know, it's not consistent. You know, a little bit with Jared Goff. Jared Goff might play lights out in Detroit Monday night and on the turf when there's no weather, but we outside it's windy. All of a sudden he plays like trash. You know, so it's kind of one of those things really up and down. It's really inconsistent, right? But when Jalen Hurts, I'll argue that Jalen Hurts has the same type of moxie that Patrick Mahomes has. Like the bigger pressure situation, the better he elevates and how he gets better, in the moments. So he really rises to the occasion. So that's a trait. That's really something that will honestly, truly delineate or separate you from being a game manager versus a game changer. How you are in pressure-packed moments. And I think that's really what versus
getting better as a quarterback. My fault, Five. Getting better as a quarterback is a little different than like a person adding to that bag in basketball and stuff like that. As a quarterback, you know what I'm saying? I remember the first year he started, he had trouble against the blitz. You remember? And he went to Wink Martindale personally for help against, because remember Wink, they went zero
guy that don't
what was that?
Tony Romo fathead.
Listen, y'all are cursed because Troy Aikman in the Hall of Fame. So for the rest of y'all careers in Dallas, y'all will never have a quarterback to do like Tony Romo. That's
a lot of hate. It's a lot of hate.
I mean, it's the truth. You guys, like he's just explained exactly what Dak is. And I was taking thrower of the football and processor of the information. He's a better guy, but you got to go with the and that's historic. Look at Eli Manning, right?
Hey, look, man, we sweeping all y'all this year.
He's not going to give you the stats, but he's going to give you that clutch to MDC's point, right? He's going to give you that clutch in that big moment. Jalen should be compared to Eli, right? Because they're going to both throw for, well, Eli going to have a better passing game, but they both going to show up so big, and then those big stat guys, right? Dak, Romo, they're gonna fumble on a kick.
Okay. All right. So let's wrap this up.
I might got to throw Jalen first.
Yeah, maybe I would.
As the quarterback, because you have to surround Dak with the Eagles, like that whole team structure. You can't let them be on an island. They have the ability to be on an island, but you can't. You can't. And I don't even want to put Jaden Daniels and Jaxson Dart. I'm not even talking about them young punks right now. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So let's end this with a quick, I guess you can say, hot take segment. I'm gonna give you a question. You give me your reaction to it and how you think it's going to pan out. It's more of a projecting season question when it comes down to your teams, and may involve coaching, may involve a player. We'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna start with Dub. So, do you think that in regards to the Commanders, regardless of what you do in the draft, let's say hypothetically your dream scenario happens, things of that nature goes on, right? Do you believe that you have enough based upon your dream scenario and what you do leading up to the training camp area to win the division?
Yeah, I think so. As long as we stay healthy, like I said, if the dream scenario plays out, first of all, if we stay healthy, that means Jaden has a healthy season with Terry, and that was the difference in a lot of our games last year. Everybody stays healthy. That means we got a solid offensive line. We got the run game, and then we got an improved defense. I know you mentioned, stopping the run and how that might play a factor. But if everything goes the way it's supposed to go, then some teams are going to be, trying to play from down anyway. So they're going to have to throw the ball, and that's going to play into our strengths with rushing the passer and stopping, getting some turnovers. So yeah, I think we got enough if everything goes the way it's supposed to go.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. All right, Commish. So in regards to the Cowboys, so
Super Bowl.
Of course. So preseason hubris, we smell it. Raiders fans and Cowboys fans have a lot of it. I understand. So when it comes down to the Cowboys and your roster, dream scenarios, all the good stuff, you have a great draft, free agency period after the draft, move pieces around it. They'll really get to the roster feeling like it's ready to roll. Do you think the defense will ultimately be the Achilles heel of this team based upon youth, scheme change, coordinator change, things of that nature? Do you think the defense will be the only hindrance to the Cowboys' success in 2026?
No, I actually think the defense is going to improve. I mean, we can't get any worse than last year.
Well, you could. You can be the Bengals. You can be the Bengals.
Well, true. I'll put it this way. I think we'll have a better defense this year. It won't be top 10 or anything, but I think we might be around 15 to like 17, 20, somewhere in there. But I actually think our biggest issue that no one is talking about is our offensive line.
Really?
Our two tackles are not the greatest. I think they're average at best. Now our interior offensive line is pretty solid. But I think Tyler Smith and I can't recall the right tackle. I don't think they're the best right now, and I think that's really our big problem now. Secondary to our defense, but I think right after that is our offensive line and addressing our two tackles at this point. Because if we can't solidify the left tackle, then Dak is going to be in big trouble. And when he hurries the game up, you know what time it is. It's interception city. So I think that's something that nobody's talking about. So that would be my hot take.
Okay, so Terrence Steele is your right tackle as at the moment.
Terrence Steele, correct. Yeah,
but you also have Tyler Guyton and Tyler Smith and Cooper Beebe. All impact players for my money. So you got three, maybe. So
internal, interior alignment, interior. I think our two tackles that's a problem. That's a problem for us.
Okay, so instead of the defense, you think the tackles will be the determining factor of your success?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough. Okay. All right, Five. So let's talk about the Giants real quick. Let's talk about Jaxson Dart. You hinted to the idea that you were not high on him earlier in this episode. So what do you feel like the success rate is going to be? Do you think Jaxson Dart is going to have a winning record in 2026?
I do. I think the team around him, and I think excuse me, Harbaugh, he want to run the ball. So I think bring in, having the running game going, using Jaxson Dart, I think the offense is going to change. I think he's a winner. You can tell, like, you can look at the way he plays. I just don't think it's sustainable. I think that, again, I give him 12 games, right? But we'll see. I think he'll have a winning record because I think Jameis Winston can play.
Okay.
Still the backup, and it's a 2-quarterback system now.
Wow.
Just because I don't think if he has to dial it down, because you won't play in this league, and it's not just blowing your knee out; it's hitting that head.
Yes,
right? That's 2 or 3 games minimum. You're in the protocol.
Ask two about that. Yeah.
Like you got to look. That's even worse. It's like the next thing you know, a couple of concussions, you done. They shutting you down.
Yeah.
So he has to. I think he has to put some speed on it, some zip on his passes. He floats a lot of passes. That backyard Brett Favre playground football, right? I'm not sold on that, but we'll see. I think the Giants will be better if they can be healthy, right? All bets off the table if injuries happen. And injuries happen to everybody, but I think this kid is a maniac, just like the running back dude.
Yeah, they definitely have reckless abandon for sure.
And because they've been paid. Yeah. They've been having the pressure, and that's the point from college.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Burns was on what's the old boy podcast with Channing Crowder and
the Pivot podcast.
Yeah, he was on that, but he talked about. He said these dudes been rich.
Yeah,
they carry this swagger.
Mm-hmm.
They play like that. Like this is not college. Do you realize that dude is a third string trying to make the team? He's gonna,
a clean clock. Yeah.
Okay.
So. All right, so Jaxson Dart will have a winning record, despite he might not make it through the season, but he'll at least the games he plays, he'll win. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he's been competitive all season, man. How many games we lost by like 3? The Giants lost like 6-7 games by 3 points. We was beating. Bro, I went out to eat. When we was whooping on the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Got to the restaurant, sat down.
Lost by 1.
Bro, I didn't even finish my food.
Yeah.
I had this old dude next to me was talking to me. He was like, guy. I'm like, yo, eat your food, man. Eat your food.
That's funny.
Your food, man. He's like, yo, what's going on with the Giants? I had the hat on and all that too.
Yeah.
I ain't want to do no senior citizen crimes. But he had me hot.
Okay. All right, good stuff. All right, Rel. So let's talk about your offensive coordinator. It's changing again.
Mhm.
And it seems like it's a on year, off year for y'all. Every time you change, one's good, one's bad. So do you think
Right.
this is going to be the on year? Do you think that your success of your team is predicated on the success of your new offensive coordinator?
Partially, yeah. And as I don't know about me and you coach together,
Yes.
so we were coaches, and so I actually went back to look at some of the things that he likes to run, and some of the scheme, and it's promising. But again, I can't predict that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but it's going to be important. It's going to be important that we're not so predictable in play calling. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be important that our route tree is not so predictable. Okay, it's going to be important that we're not just running, full verts and then full comeback routes. Like some creativity. Some motion, some play action,
Some innovation.
RPOs. Some of the things that were successful for us that we did not do at all last year. Like, it was very predictable of what the Eagles were going to do last year on offense. Like, even some of the run schemes. You know what I'm saying? And looking at it from a coach's eye, you see it's even worse. Like, from a even if you don't coach, you can see it. You know what I'm saying? But looking at it from a coach's eye, it was horrible. And you know, I'm hoping that he can do better. I like some of the stuff that that I've seen him do and implement from his, some of his schemes in the past that I was able to see some of the tape online. But it's going to be very important. So to answer your question, yes, it's going to be very important. Just the creativity, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big smoke and mirrors guy when I call offense. So like I call the same play and the shit gonna look different, but it's gonna be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? If I run inside zone, I might give you a jet motion and then inside zone. I might go inside zone and direct snap it to the running back. You know what I'm saying? That's me. I might go two backs, orbit motion one out, go inside zone, and then once you bite on that, fake the inside zone, throw it out to the other back face. Like stuff like that. We were not doing. And as a coach, it frustrated me. So hopefully we implement some of those things and get back rolling because we can't just turn around hand to Saquon and have him run into a wall. Like Saquon juke 12 niggas in school. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not fair to him. You know what I'm saying? Then you know what I mean? So listen, make it easy on your players. So my answer is yes. It's going to be very important that he does a good job as an OC.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued because he's a former quarterback. He wasn't ever a starter, but he was a former quarterback in college and in the league as a backup quarterback. So I'm curious to see what type of innovation he can bring to Philly because that's going to be very important weapons he has. Sean Mannion.
Sean Mannion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never heard of him.
I believe he was a long-term backup in Detroit, right? He was a Detroit.
He wasn't much of a player. Yeah, he's a backup. He wasn't much of a player. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But again, like Doug Peterson was one of our better coaches. He wasn't that good a quarterback either.
Right, so, but he's a good play caller though. He's a good play caller. So yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right, good brother. So we're gonna wrap it up. I mean, does anybody have any questions for your rival mates before we get out of here real quick? If anybody got any hot questions you want to ask before
let's go around the room, man. Prediction for the records, man, if we want to do that.
Okay. All right. We'll start with you then.
Oh, I think we might get to 10 wins this year. I think sounds funny, but I think the Giants might be second place.
Just realistic predictions, or
well, I mean, it's ideal because the schedule's not out. We don't know who you're playing, when you're playing, things of that nature. So it's just idealistic stuff.
10 wins for the Cowboys.
That's what
10 wins. Yeah,
that's what it
said. Yeah,
what happened?
I think the Giants coming in at maybe 8 wins. Commanders at 7, and then you all know how I feel about Rel and them
And his 5
Eagles.
wins that you
It's
predicted. Okay.
five wins, man. 5 wins.
Okay. All right, Doug. What are your predictions for the division idealistically?
I think I see us around 10. 10 wins around there for us. I agree with the Giants getting better this year. I think maybe 7 for the Giants, some 7 or 8, somewhere in there. I think Dallas may be, right on the fringe of a wild card team. Maybe like 8 or 9 wins, probably I say around there. And I think Philly's a tough one. I think Philly's gonna have a bounce back year where they get really good. And they could get, 11 wins, but I could also see them, imploding and just, before the season's over, just checking out, you know what I mean, and trying to press the reset button. So I'm on the side, I'm gonna say Philly might be like 11 wins, you know what I mean? So I think Philly first, us second, Dallas third, and then New York last. But I think it'll be a competitive year for all of us. I think all of us are gonna be better than last year.
Okay. All right, Five. You go ahead and we'll end it with Rel.
I don't see any team that really separates this year, right? I think it's going to all look around 7, 8, 9 wins. I just because everybody got better, at least for the Giants. I know like Philly is not like if we look at. I want to ask that same question to Dub. Do you think your team is better than you were August last year?
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Dallas, you think your team is better than August of last year?
Yep.
Philly, you don't, right? You said you didn't. Right. So
We
I think
just the coaching staff alone is upgrade.
Right. But so Philly going in was a 13, 14 win team. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they got better. I think all the other divisions got better, or the other teams got better. I think with Jaden Daniels coming back, right? I think everybody's it's gonna be around 9, 8 wins, 10 wins. And I think somewhere the Giants will finish second in the division.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that I don't know who's gonna finish first because it wouldn't be surprising if I want to say Dallas, right? Because I think what Dub said.
Just go ahead and say it, man. Just go ahead and say it, man.
I want to say, but then Jerry's your owner. But then I want to say what Dub said about Philly. I think they're gonna blow up in the middle, right? Blow up from the inside. I do. I think I need to frame Howie. Just make a statue of this man because it's gonna blow up. But I do think maybe the Commanders, maybe. But Giants second.
All right, Rel. So, what do you feel about how everybody finishes in the division, idealistically?
I think we want to finish first. 11 wins.
They didn't even try to think about. That's what I'm saying. Like this is.
Well, I mean, he said
earlier.
He said
I think we're gonna finish first, but I will say this. I think everybody got better on paper. Again, when you bring in a lot of free agencies, you don't know what's going to happen, right? Like you don't know. Like Washington, for instance, the past 2 years they had a lot of money, to bring in guys. All of them haven't panned out. You get what I'm saying? Like some of them dudes look really old. I think they did a better job this year of how they spent their money. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys are the Cowboys. I don't think they're, with the current state of the team, they're ever going to be trash. You know what I'm saying? And they always play good against us. So they'll be competitive. I think the Giants got better, barring injury. That's my thing with all the teams, but with the Giants in particular, because of their stars, all of them got hurt. You get what I'm saying? And they're coming off an injury. You know what I'm saying? And they play on that turf. That turf is horrible. They play on that a lot. So, like, injuries for them. But I agree. I don't think it's going to be that much separation. Like, I give us 11. I think, to be honest, I think 11 for us, 9 for 9 for the Cowboys, 8 or 9. It'll be like 11, 9, 7. Like it's not going to be that much separation because I think the gap is close a little bit on the division, and we kind of for the most part give each other a good bump anyway. I just think for us, when I said we weren't as good as we were last year at this point in time, I just know that I have my trust in Howie to put together a complete team for us to go out there and compete. We still have a lot of talent. We have a lot of young talent. So I still think we'll be able to do what we're supposed to do next year. And I think the offensive coordinator will be a big part of that as well.
Okay. Good stuff. All right. Well, I think y'all share the same sentiment. There's going to be a black and blue division that y'all really going to be really competitive amongst each other. So it's going to obviously end up with those 6 games you play with the division going to be tight. And that's probably going to determine who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. Because clearly, you probably have, clearly the division winner, maybe one team out of the division is going to make the wild card. So we'll see how things shake out. But I definitely believe it's going to be really competitive if everybody stays healthy and everybody gets their draft picks the way they want to get them. So yeah, it should be a good time.
I think 2 teams get in, though. I think 2 teams get in. Yeah, because I think Green Bay's division takes a step back. I think that division, Minnesota,
the South really may get one team like they did this year.
Yeah, so I think we get 2 in.
Okay, that's fair. All right, good stuff. All right, man. So that's going to do it for us, man. The first installment of the Rivalry Room for the NFC East, man. I appreciate these brothers for giving us our time, giving us some good dialogue, some good trash talk, some good banter back and forth. Is what we expect out of a highly competitive, highly high stakes division. One of the more story divisions of the NFL. So we'll get this rolling after the draft, and maybe we'll have a couple more installments between now and in the regular season. So if you've been watching this all the way through, man, let us know how you feel about this particular dynamic, and let us know how you feel about the feedback from each team. Tell us exactly how much of this you liked and what you want to see more of in our next installment of this. So we'll be back next time to have another Rivalry Room with these brothers, Lord willing, and we'll get things rolling and hope everybody have a good draft. So that's going to do it for us, man. So for Coach Mike Dub, the Commissioner Hussein, Five to God in Rellyville, we're going to catch you.
First, dickhead. Go ahead, my fault.
On the next installment of the Rivalry Room. Until then,
muted. Make sure people muted at the end.
Right. I might have to bleep it on edit. But until then, you got to do one thing and one thing well. You got to step up to lock it down.